Hi, Wysots. Marcy, Susan.
Cheers. Cheers, ladies.
So,
Cheers.
I am in a very celebratory mood. I have something to celebrate. This week, I successfully refinanced my house.
Yay.
And signed the documents and lowered my interest rate and my payments and all that. And so that's a very good thing, cash flow wise. So I'm happy about that. And it was a very, very interesting process. And I used some of the principles that we talk about in our approach.
Let me guess.
Win-win. Well, yeah, I think they were trying, I don't know, it was just very interesting. They were definitely trying to win, and I won too, but I had to work at it a little bit, but I had some tools in my toolbox. And one of the things was to ask for what you want. Ask and be very specific. And early on in the process, this was back in January, I had to have an appraisal, and it wasn't one of those drive-by appraisals. An appraiser came and walked through the house and did it, and the appraisal came back just slightly less than it needed to be to make the original numbers work. They quoted me, the original numbers. It was very low cost and very low rate. And then the appraisal came back and it was less than 1%. It was a few, like $3,000 on the price of my home. And all of a sudden I'm at like 1% and paying double the closing costs. And I just kept sending it back and saying, no, this doesn't work. I want the original terms. And they would send me something else, and it wasn't what I asked for. And I'd just say no, and I'd send it back and say, I want this rate and this amount and all of this stuff. And, I had to send documents along the way, and I'd send them in like just in time. And I was not pushing this process along, because if that was the deal, it just didn't work for me. And so I would be out a little bit of money for the appraisal, but I didn't need to refinance the house. But sometimes you get in those situations and you put pressure on yourself to close the deal or finish the document, or you're worried about what, they're coming up with. But I said, forget that. I'm not happy with it. It doesn't work for me. So I'm just going to keep going and just keep asking for what I want. And lo and behold, I got an email that just said, your loan's approved. And I said, okay, send me the document. And so they did, and on the final, they call them GFE, the good faith estimate, but it lays out your interest rate and all that. It was not quite the original deal, but it was very close, and it made the numbers work for me. And so I said, okay, I'll just go ahead and let them close.
Let them have it.
Yeah. I'll do them the favor of loaning me the money. But, through it all, this, I started this back in December or November, and here it is May. And there were some times during the process when I got busy with work and stressed with other things and the taxes and things piled up, and this was one thing I just did not worry about. I didn't put any negative energy into it. I just said, okay, whatever is going to happen. I kept asking for what I wanted. I was okay with the worst case for me, which is it never happened, and I just pay for the appraisal and go on my way. So I think the takeaway for me is just don't stress about it. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Just relax, breathe, kind of get okay with with that worst case and keep asking for what you want, because, you know, if you don't, we know what the answer is, right?
That's right.
No.
So, here's to
lower house payment.
Better cash flow, but really just staying calm and asking for what you want, and the universe delivers. It really, really does. Cheers.
Cheers.